Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the history of a truly fascinating country, Norway. Let's start back in 1814, a year of significant change for Norway. After the end of the Napoleonic Wars, Denmark had to hand over its rule of Norway to Sweden. But Norway didn't simply accept this new control. It had already crafted its own constitution and had a strong desire for independence, which was quite remarkable at the time. After a brief conflict with Sweden, Norway managed to keep its constitution while still being part of a union with Sweden. This was a big deal and showed Norway's determination to make its own mark. The drive for independence was something deeply rooted in the hearts of the Norwegian people.
Meanwhile, during the early 1800s, Norway's population was around 900,000 people. Most of them, about 90%, lived in rural areas, working on farms. Life in Norway during this time was closely tied to the land and resources like fish and timber, thanks to its unique geography. An English economist named Thomas Malthus visited Norway in 1799 and noted that their standard of living seemed quite high, especially when compared to other parts of Europe. However, some historians later pointed out that Malthus might have overlooked important differences within the country itself. Despite its challenging terrain and harsh climate, Norway was lucky to have such abundant natural resources like water and timber that supported its people. This rich natural setting was a key factor in Norway's future development.
In the 19th century, trade became an important part of Norway's economy. The country's open economy was greatly dependent on exporting goods like timber, fish, glass, and iron. These exports were a vital part of Norway's relationship with the United Kingdom, which acted both as an important market for these goods and a source of machinery and technical skills. This trading partnership helped Norway take a big step forward, but it also came with risks due to its reliance on British demand.
The Norwegian merchant fleet played a crucial role in the country's economy, especially given that only a small portion of the land was suitable for agriculture. As a result, this fleet was among the largest in the world compared to the size of the population and provided many jobs and opportunities. However, the transition from sail to steam was a significant challenge. This shift required new skills and technologies that Norway had to develop to keep its shipping industry competitive.
In the 1870s, Norway faced a tough time as the global depression caused economic stagnation. This made it difficult for people to find jobs and support their families. With limited opportunities at home and the American Midwest offering hope, many Norwegians decided to emigrate for a better life. This was not an easy choice, but for around 800,000 Norwegians between the 1830s and early 1900s, it seemed like the best option to improve their living conditions.
As the population grew rapidly, it put a strain on Norway's resources, making daily life even more challenging for many. At the same time, technology was changing, transforming the way industries worked. The development of safer steamship travel to North America made it more feasible for people to consider moving. The high emigration rate reflected the need for new solutions and opportunities that the existing Norwegian economy couldn't provide at that time.
Exploring the roots of Norway's industrial success, we can't overlook the significant impact of hydroelectricity. Norway's landscape, filled with rivers and waterfalls, provided almost perfect conditions for generating low-cost electricity. This renewable energy source became a cornerstone in the country's industrial growth during the late 19th and early 20th century. With abundant energy, industries such as chemicals, fertilizers, and aluminum production saw rapid development. Access to cheap hydroelectricity not only powered factories, but also spurred innovations that furthered Norway's industrial capabilities.
Achieving complete independence in 1905 marked a new era for Norway. This transformation created room for economic expansion driven by industrialization. The nation embraced social reforms that matched its growth, including vital protections for women and children and improvements in health and safety standards. These changes were crucial in creating a stable environment that encouraged further industrial investments. Such policies also helped to balance societal needs with economic interests, ensuring a more equitable distribution of the benefits from industrial progress.
The push for industrialization meant looking at ways to maximize Norway's natural resources. Hydroelectricity was not just about meeting local needs, but also about boosting industries that were energy-intensive. These industries tapped into Norway's emerging capability to produce cheap and sustainable energy, giving them a competitive advantage worldwide. As manufacturing and resource-based industries grew, the focus remained on sustaining these energy flows and utilizing them to their full potential, making Norway a leader in sustainable industrial technology early on.
With independence secured, the economic path was set for expansion. This period marked significant social changes as well. Norway's approach to social reforms during this time was quite progressive, ensuring that industrial growth supported public welfare improvements. Working conditions saw enhancements, with regulations that reduced work hours and improved the work environment. By fostering a cooperative relationship between industrial development and social policies, Norway created a society that valued both economic growth and social well-being, setting a powerful example for other nations.
The impact of World War I on Norway's economy was quite significant. Norway had the fourth largest merchant navy in the world by 1914. The war strained Norway's shipping industry when German forces targeted neutral vessels. Unfortunately, about half of the Norwegian merchant ships were lost. These losses heavily impacted the economy, as shipping was vital for both trade and employment. During World War II, Norway declared neutrality, but it was invaded by Germany. This led to an occupation that further strained the economy and resources.
Post-war recovery for Norway was aided by the Marshall Aid Program, which provided crucial support for rebuilding the country. The devastation of the war left Norway with damaged infrastructure and reduced shipping capabilities, but Marshall Aid helped get things back on track. Post-war, Norway also moved towards a social democratic mixed economic system. This system promoted full employment, income equality, and social security, laying the foundation for what is known today as the Nordic model.
The German occupation during World War II forced Norway's economy to shift towards supporting the war efforts, with resources like aluminum and iron. This period saw severe rationing and hardships for the Norwegian people as resources were diverted. Resistance efforts were strong, however, as people engaged in strikes and sabotage despite the risks. After the occupation ended, Norway faced the challenge of rebuilding its economy from these disruptions.
By introducing social democratic economic policies post-World War II, Norway aimed to balance economic growth with societal well-being. The state played an active role in managing economic resources, expanding industries like aluminum and chemicals that benefited from the country's substantial hydropower. These policies contributed to rising living standards and a more equitable society, setting the stage for Norway's future growth and prosperity.
In 1969, Norway discovered oil in the North Sea, marking a new chapter in its history. This discovery was transformative, as the Ekofisk oil field was one of the largest found at that time. The presence of oil meant a significant power shift for Norway, allowing it to join the ranks of major oil-producing nations. This new resource promised not only wealth, but also an opportunity to reshape the country's economic landscape, fueling hopes for higher growth and prosperity.
To ensure that the newfound oil wealth stayed within the country, Norway established Statoil in 1972 as a state-owned company. This move was strategic, allowing Norway to maintain control over its oil resources and revenues. By doing so, the country managed to channel these profits into the national economy, rather than seeing them escape to private entities. The oil boom led to substantial economic growth and supported the development of a robust welfare state, including improved healthcare, childcare, and parental leave policies.
The growth driven by oil and gas not only raised living standards, but also funded extensive welfare programs in Norway. The government leveraged this booming sector to bolster social services, ensuring citizens could benefit directly from the nation's resources. This approach created a more equitable society, with the oil revenues playing a crucial role in supporting various social programs intended to enhance the well-being of all citizens and mitigate inequality.
Oil and gas revenues quickly became a backbone for Norway's economic model, contributing significantly to government finances. The efficient use of these funds led to advancements in social structures, allowing the country to strengthen its welfare system. The wealth generated from oil resources transformed Norway, providing a steady income stream that could be invested back into society. This strategic allocation helped in fostering a sustainable and inclusive economic environment.
Now, let's look at the idea of Dutch disease, a condition that can occur when a country discovers valuable resources like oil. This situation causes the national currency to strengthen, making other sectors like manufacturing or farming less competitive on a global scale. Norway faced this challenge head-on with a strategy that focused on investing oil profits outside its own borders. By doing so, they managed to control currency inflation and protect other industries from being negatively impacted by the oil wealth.
To safeguard its economic future, Norway established the Government Petroleum Fund in 1990, now known as the Sovereign Wealth Fund. This fund was created as a means to wisely invest the nation's oil revenues for the long term. Initially, it bought bonds, but later diversified by purchasing equities in foreign companies outside the fossil fuel industry. This approach was key in maintaining Norway's economic balance and stability amidst the huge influx of oil money, ensuring that the benefits were stretched across future generations.
The Sovereign Wealth Fund of Norway is now the largest of its kind globally, holding around 1.9 trillion. This value translates to about 340,000 for each Norwegian citizen, an astonishing figure. One of the interesting rules governing this fund is that the government cannot withdraw and use more than 3% of its value per year unless there is a severe economic crisis. This principle ensures that the fund continues to grow steadily, covering a significant portion of government spending while saving for the future.
Despite the challenges that came with the oil boom, like higher labor costs in other sectors, Norway remained committed to achieving sustainable growth and maintaining competitiveness. The country continued to invest in education and innovation, strengthening its skilled workforce. By focusing on a balanced economic policy and avoiding over-reliance on the oil and gas sector, Norway successfully turned its natural advantages into ongoing prosperity, setting an example for resource-rich nations worldwide.
Remember, if you loved hearing about Norway's journey, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more fascinating insights and stories like this one. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.